Hey, how you doing? This is Dennis Fogg once again on Comedy 101, and we're excited about this episode or whatever you want to call it. We're so excited I can't even speak, but it's a political one. And I know it sounds stupid, but I'm not a political guy. I just think it's hilarious to hear about the Iowa caucuses and how... And I can't wait to hear about the presidential duties again, because duties is just a funny word. It's one of those words that if it was presidential caca, it wouldn't be as funny, but a presidential duty, you know, is going to be long and hard. I mean, it's 4 years of a presidential duty, and that's exciting for me. And that's the type of stuff we talk about. I host Comedy 101 with my best friend. Well, at least he thinks we're best friends. This is a co-host, Mark Turcotte. Good to see you, buddy.
Right, thanks, everybody. Thank you, Dennis. This is going to be a great episode. I'm happy to be back at Comedy 101. It's been a while.
It has been.
I mean, people have been calling me. They're emailing me, sending me telegraphs. It's crazy.
Telegraphs?
Like, yeah.
Wow, it has been a while.
Yeah, like my grandmother.
Oh, your grandma, yeah.
She misses watching me on TV.
She's good.
So this is great. I like that you're getting all political now. That's not like you.
It's not like
your
me.
stand-up.
But any chance I get a chance to say caucuses and how big the caucuses are.
Right. You also said long and hard in there, and you didn't make a joke about it, which I was...
Well, I was letting it go.
Yeah. But I get political, too.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about the presidential election coming up. And did you hear that Bob Dole, remember Bob Dole from back in the day? He ran for president. He officially endorsed Jeb Bush.
Really?
Ending years of speculation as to whether or not Bob Dole was still alive.
Yeah.
And he is, folks. Welcome to Comedy 101.
Well, thanks. The first guest we're going to bring out, I've been working with him for years. He's one of the funniest guys. He's also one of the biggest guys I know. Want to bring him out? Yep.
He scares me.
He does.
A little
he
bit.
Really does.
I mean, he's really big, and I'm uncomfortable in his presence.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit over there when he comes on.
Oh, great. Well,
be out of the way.
Let's bring him out. Without further ado, Big Bob Clancy.
Bob. How you doing, Bob?
Good.
Good to see you, Bob. Good to see you.
Creep me out. I'm just kidding. That wonderful man.
So, Bob, it's good to have you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
You know, everybody asks me, they always go, why don't you just call him Bob? Because I've always known you as Big Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your name, right? How did you come up with the Big Bob thing?
My friends' kids, I was always bigger than their dad, and so then they were describing me, they're going, Big Bob. And then I started doing comedy, and everybody told me, you don't want to call yourself Big Bob, you'll appear facetious.
Wow, wait a minute, big word. Ding, ding, big word, facetious.
Yeah, I thought you meant appear.
Oh.
Yeah, no, they used a lot of other 50-cent words on me too, like pompous and grandiose and egocentric.
Wow, look at this. He's like a thesaurus.
Oh, I think I'm better than that.
I had to use torrential the other day, and I thought that was tough.
There you go.
He sprained his tongue.
Yeah.
We had to put off the shoot for 2 weeks. Bob, so you stuck with Big Bob in comedy. Like when you first started to do stand-up, were you Big Bob, or was that an eventual?
No, I started right off, and then I tried to get rid of it, and I'd tell people, call me Bob Clancy, and then and they'd go up there and, okay, now come on the stage, Big Bob. And it's like, okay, I can't get rid of it. And I've even talked to some people about it, and they said, no, you might as well keep it. We all know you as Big Bob now.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I'd be doing Boston. I'd expect Robert Parrish to show up and go, ain't so big. And it's like, hey, I didn't claim to be the biggest, Bob.
I think just for our viewers in our studio audience, like, what are the stats on Big Bob? Like, what's your height? What's your weight?
I'm 6'6". I weigh like 235.
Okay.
You know,
So, yeah.
fluctuating. I've been as high as 285, and I'd love to weigh about 210.
You know, when you and I started, I don't know when you, but when I started, Big Bob was like a legend at the Comedy Connection, and it was pretty neat to see you there all the time. And then Big Bob disappeared for a while, and it was kind of weird because I didn't know where he went. But then I realized you were actually down at 9/11.
Yeah, I got real sick afterwards. I thought I was going to die. I spent about 12 years in bed, and then I got on some new meds, and I'm back.
But also, you weren't just down there. I mean, you were working there. You were saving people.
Yeah, no.
You know, you were one of the rescue team.
Yeah, we were on the
I know you don't
rescue
talk
and
about it
recovery.
a lot, but I just wanted people to know this man. You know, he's not just a comedian. He's actually
Right.
Yeah,
one of
I was
those
an iron
people.
worker.
And he was a lot younger then, as I was. And you can imagine, you know, looking up at Big Bob as he helps you out. It's just amazing.
Absolutely.
So it's good to see you back, because now you're back on the comedy scene, and I see you working all over the place.
Oh, I love it. I love making people laugh, and it took me a while after 9/11. I just didn't feel like funny, you know. But it's good karma, and you know, it's a lot better than. I wear my leather coat with my comedy connection on the back, and people all want to talk to me. And if I just wear my leather coat, I look like a biker, and they don't want to come anywhere near me.
So where are you at coming up?
I got a show this Saturday at Soho over in Nashua.
Give a date.
The
13th?
Yeah.
February 13th?
Yeah, the 13th, and then I got a show on the 9th in Boston at Laugh Boston, and I got one on the 26th, I believe, down in Naugatuck, Connecticut. So I'm you know, those are the big shows. I got a lot of little shows that I do all the time. I got one tonight at 212 Brown Street, which I like. I love that room.
And what are people in for when they see Big Bob on stage?
Almost anything.
Almost anything.
Almost anything. It wasn't me, and I'll never do it again.
But a lot of places have told you to stop doing the vulture, because let's face it.
They're insurance companies. They worry about the chair breaking or me falling. Like, you know, when I do that one in the Portland's competition they have down there at the old Seamen's Club, I'm standing on the chair, I look behind me, and it's like, if I fall, I'm going to fall like 3 stories right out that window. So, yeah, they worry about that one. And I've done, you know, I got to say, Bob Marley, I didn't kick that guy, you know. He was telling everybody I kicked the guy down in Old Orchard Beach once. The guy was heckling, and I ripped him. I didn't realize it was the same drunk guy staggering through the crowd, and I kept slamming him.
You worked with that reggae guy?
No, Bob Marley, the comedian.
The other one. Yeah, whatever, never mind.
And not only that, but I'd go down to Boston and I'd do a show. I did a show out in Gardner, Mass once at Sully's, and the comedians at the end of the show are all going, "Oh, it's finally good to meet the legend." I said, "What are you talking about, the legend?" Bob Marley. I said, "Bob, I did not kick that guy, because, you know, the club owners here, I kicked the guy, and then they don't want me on their stage, you know." I didn't kick him, but I did let the bouncers take him out of the way when he realized I was actually on a riser instead of a stage.
Well, we want you to stay right here and talk with us, but we also want to bring out another guy.
All right.
He's not as big as Big Bob.
No.
I mean, just in stature. I mean,
No,
in
but
comedy,
he's a very
huge.
good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And he's an artist, he's a painter, and a hilarious comedian. Please welcome Jamie Roux, everybody.
Jamie.
Move over a little.
Jamie.
Hello. Welcome.
Jamie.
Hello.
See you, buddy.
Good to have you.
This is pretty cool. Get them both at the same time. And I love
know,
our new
right?
digs. I don't know if you noticed the new couch.
I dig the
Yeah,
couch.
this is wonderful.
Yes. Our sponsors really stepped it up this year.
Who's your sponsors?
I can't say. It's local access. We're not allowed to plug them.
So did you have to tell the school that the guidance counselor wouldn't show up today? I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
I mean, I just tell the kids that I'll see them under their beds.
Yeah, at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, I've been seeing you all over the place, man. You're working a lot. You're a funny man.
Yeah, I work a lot. I don't get paid anything for open mic.
Okay, you're volunteering a lot.
Yeah,
right?
I'm volunteering at every local bar in the area.
But it's a progression, folks. You know, it takes a little while. You got to be almost as old as I am before you start to get paid.
Before you make it to this couch.
Oh man, yep, the comfy couch.
You guys collect the quarters out of this couch at the end?
We're already looking.
There are stories in this couch nobody wants to know.
This whole set, this reminds me of like a porn club.
I was about to say, you notice we don't have any black lights because the white spots show up everywhere.
I can see us like very clinically talk about porn.
It would be great.
So, Jamie, when did you get started in comedy?
I got started about a year and a half ago. I know that because as days like Columbus Day, Christmas, things like that roll around, I remember I have all these jokes for them.
Seasonal jokes. Love the seasonal jokes.
Yeah, my Columbus Day jokes are great. But
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's hear one. That was great. What about Halloween? Do you have anything for Halloween?
It's good that you have to wait for another year for that to come around.
wait for it.
That's awesome.
Wait for it.
But you are also, as I mentioned in your intro, you're a painter.
I am. Yeah, I'm a painter by day. That is what I do. In fact, I'm dressed up today to sell a painting, not for Bedford Access Pit.
Oh, well, that's great. We feel special now. But you're not like a house painter. You paint art, right?
Yeah.
How would you describe your art?
What I'm interested in is incorporating different genres and styles within the same canvas. So I'll paint representationally, abstractly, impressionistically, and see how it does all.
You got all these words?
No, I'm thinking Elvis on acrylic with like watercolors.
No, it's
like
got to
velvet?
be
Sure,
velvet,
yeah.
black velvet. Yep.
I can do that.
So is
black velvet Elvis?
There you
If I painted Elvis, it would be on black velvet.
Yeah. There was
you
also
support
this woman with an afro that I used to always see on black velvet. Was always the most gorgeous, just basically looking at you with a.
Yeah, last week I saw her on this couch.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the porn in the background. They got
That was
the
my
picture
aunt.
hanging on the wall.
So Jamie, do you
ant
supplement
problem.
your comedy with your, do you support your comedy with your painting?
Somewhat. Yes, I don't support my painting with my comedy, that's for sure.
Because you actually sell
Yeah, I
paintings,
do. Yeah, I do. I used to work for a painter in New York for 3 years, and I painted her paintings. And that was really where I...
Now, what does that mean, you painted her paintings?
well, she would give... There's like a team of 4 of us, and I'm sorry, my mouth is all sticking up.
It happens. We should have. See, we're too cheap to have some coffee or anything, even fake cups here.
All right, that's
all
fine.
right.
I'm cool. I'm just going to barrel through on this
Yeah,
one.
go right
good,
ahead.
man.
So there's like a team of 4 of us. She would give us an image, and we would project it, map it out, and then we'd all take a section and paint it. And the thing I painted the most, actually, while I was there was her.
Oh.
I painted her. I don't know if we could talk about
Yeah,
this.
I mean, you can...
A little late now, isn't it, huh?
Yeah.
We should have talked about that.
No,
in
we
the
don't want you
pre-show.
to get right into it.
There she was.
Just get
winking
in and
at
out
me.
of
But it was based on this Courbet painting called Origin of the Universe. So it sold well, so I painted her. And I got really good at painting. I mentioned that because tutoring
Could be
is
good
also-
work, dude.
Yeah. You got any kids or know any kids who need painting lessons? I'm really good at painting.
More like
No,
portraits.
There's a lot of bathrooms in the old port who need really,
Yeah,
because I see
yeah.
a lot of written.
I know, not a
That's
lot.
kind of strange, which is kind of strange.
What
Always in
happened
the
to-
men's room.
What
They
happened to this show?
It went into the bathroom.
Like,
it went
within
into
the
the gutter.
past
Oh, you guys were talking about long and hard stuff, you know. You know what's
Earlier,
long and
yeah.
hard on an iron worker.
You'll notice-
3rd grade.
You'll notice Bob has been pulling his shirt over his pants for
Yeah.
since we've been talking
Yeah,
about
well, you know, I
vaginas.
don't want to rise to the
I know.
occasion here.
But honestly, as we get back on track here for a second, but we're all working. We're all basically out there pounding it. And that's the thing about comedy. If you think you're going to do it, and it's going to take you a week, 2 weeks, you're going to start to get paid, you really don't understand yet.
And
It's a
overnight
whole,
wonder is 15 years is
right,
what they say.
it's a whole progress. And people come up to me, they must do it to you all the time, Mark. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm hanging out with Mark a lot. But I hear it all the time. It's like, hey, how can I get on next week's show? It's like, I've never seen
Book
you.
it 6 months ago.
Right. And I call bookers, and they're like, okay, 7 months from now, okay, I can put you in on a Thursday. It's like, wow. I mean, it's getting tough. It is tough. It's kind of tight, doing shows in the area.
There seems to be like a huge increase in people interested in doing it. Is that
Yeah.
true from your
I
standpoint?
think it's that time of year too.
Oh, really?
People
Okay.
right after the New Year, I find, because I've been old enough to watch the thing, but it's one of those things they want to check off on their list. It's a lot of them will get in, and you watch the progression because you've been in a couple of years. You see people come and go, and they come and go for different reasons. They get what they want out of it, or they don't get what they want out of it, and they keep moving. It's one of the two. Some people do it just for social activity.
Right.
Some people do it for a reason to drink. Some people do it, just because they want to check that thing, or
Or
it's one of
spice
the-
up what they do for work. Maybe they're
Right.
public speakers at work or whatever.
And it's supposedly one of the scariest thing in the world that we do, and I don't find it scary at all.
I don't find it scary at all
And
either.
everybody's like, "Oh my God, you do that?" I go, "Yeah, but I won't touch a worm."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that to me is my comfort zone.
Yeah.
When I'm on stage, it's like that's where I belong. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
You know what I find too is that anybody who's ever told a joke at a backyard barbecue and got a laugh thinks that they can do stand-up comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And they get on stage and find out that that air of that atmosphere of comedy that the guy that's on stage created was not something that just happened. He created that, and it took a long time before he could develop that.
It's not when it's easy. It's easy, but not every show is easy. We've all been through those shows.
it's about 10% easy to 90%. Why do I do this?
Yeah, when they love you, it's easy, but when they don't like you, that's why they call it work.
And then also trying hard to explain it to your friends, because a lot of bookers think that you got all these friends and stuff that can come to every show, but we're comedians. We don't have a lot of friends. Right. We have other comedian friends, and that's all we can ever bring.
When I do that show in Connecticut, I'm driving 3.5 hours. If somebody's going to sit in the car with me, it's going to be a miracle.
Oh, thanks.
Oh.
I'm gonna take a sip out of it. There you go.
Yeah. I did hear it flush, so I know it's good stuff.
And that's Biddeford boy. Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Cosby sent it in. So in a couple minutes.
This counts will have another story next week.
After the show.
But back to this whole comedy thing, and supposedly that's what we're here for. We've all had shows that are the toughest things. And some people deal with hecklers different ways. The reason why I brought it up is I did a show last weekend, and a heckler ripped a guy apart. And I've seen other people, like you, Bob, you just keep right on going. I notice you incorporate them right in your act and stuff
Sure,
like that.
bring them in. They want to be part of the show, might as well make them part of the show.
It's all different. I just roll right over them. Mark, I've seen you do real good with them.
I try to deal with them. I had one recently at a show in Auburn where she was nonstop heckling all the comedians. It was a showcase. So, and I kind of had a feel for it. I know you're never supposed to give up the microphone, but that night I did. I said, all right, you think you're funny? Come on up. And I let her stand up in front of everybody, and she just crumbled.
Yeah.
Within 4 seconds, she was back in her seat.
I did a show in Old Orchard Beach once where they weren't laughing at me at all. I actually got mad at them, yelling out, "This isn't TV, you know what I mean? I can't see you. I need to hear your laughs." And they started laughing at that. And then I went out in the car and cried. And I went back in and got my money. That was the hardest work I ever did cover in my 15 minutes, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's tough. Especially a ride home after a bad set is just terrible.
Oh, it's awful.
It's a long ride.
It is. Especially if there's other people in your car who did well. And they were like, yeah, what a set. And you're like, oh, jeez.
You have a carload of people on the way to a contest.
Yeah.
And one of you makes it or two,
Yeah.
you know.
And so
the
you
other
can't
one's
celebrate till you're out of the car.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bad contest anyways.
Yeah,
Well, you won. Yeah, but it was rigged.
judging is rigged.
Well, you know what? Like last night, I did a show, and it was a good set. And I couldn't get to sleep. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm going, how did I keep a day job, you know, when I had one?
Yep.
And I actually have a nap planned for this afternoon because nappy time is happy time. Because I have a show tonight.
Jamie, I wanted to get into this before. I don't know when we're wrapping up.
We got another 5 minutes.
Oh, cool. Jamie's an interesting-looking guy, handsome guy, but he's got a very distinct look about him.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
I've seen his set a number of times, and he's incorporating look-like jokes into his set.
These,
and I was wondering if you could not only tell us some of the jokes that you say about yourself, but maybe have some for Dennis, Bob, and me.
Oh, well, okay. I would say that I am the most diverse character on this couch.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm the transgendered. I look like a transgendered person, like a male transitioning to witch. Most of my "you look like" jokes are just how creepy I look. I mean, I look like my only complaint with Subaru Outbacks is you can't hide bodies in the trunk.
You probably have little individually wrapped candies in your pockets at all times.
Yep, definitely look like that. I look like I have a very discerning taste for Robitussin. What type of child meat to pair it with.
Now, Bob looks like the type of guy, if he wasn't here, he wouldn't be wearing pants.
Actually, we had to tell him to wear pants to be on the show.
Bob looks like he to those table saw videos of hot dogs on table saws where it just stops right before it.
Yep, the safety ones.
Nobody does me like I do.
Definitely not your table saw.
I don't have to tell myself a little to the left. None of that. I just know.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Oh, my God.
This went off bad.
Yeah, what I got to say about Jamie, though, is he's an intelligent comedy. You know what? If you want to hear somebody,
Jamie is an intelligent comedy. I've said that about him before.
No, I mean his comedy is intelligent.
Oh, there you go.
You know, it's not like
Mine?
Yeah, or mine.
I appreciate that.
No, really, when you write a joke, I know what he's talking about. When you write a joke, it's one of those jokes that is actually funny, and then later on when you think about it, it's funny
still,
too.
yeah.
Because you're driving home going, yeah, he said that, didn't he? And you're actually one of those people that, you know, when you talk sometimes, I think to myself, damn, I should have wrote that one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I really appreciate these compliments. I think the viewers in Biddeford are going to be like, what are they talking about? This guy hasn't said any funny jokes.
Yeah, but we haven't set you up. This is really not a joke.
I like the guy behind the counter that says, "Tell me a joke." I always say, "Give me money," because that's what I do it for. You know.
Wow, you're a complete mercenary. Huh?
He is.
Well, maybe that's the attitude you need to adopt.
That's
Jamie.
that's.
But my point is that comedy is not always easy to do out of context. But when you're on stage, you have control. You have the microphone, you have the spotlight, and you have control. Whereas other places, you know, the guy at 7-Eleven who says, "Come on down to where I work, it's really funny," it doesn't count there. You know, it counts on stage in front of people you don't know that might have had a bad day, you know?
Yeah, that's how I feel too. When I have hecklers, I'm still trying to work on that, getting better at being friendly with them. I just respond only in pure malice.
That's
towards
awesome.
hecklers. And sometimes it goes real bad.
We're going to wrap this up. We can talk all day, right? Check this out. But I want to make sure that you understand where we're going to be. This guy, Mark, where are you going to be? Because I know you got a whole bunch of things
I
coming
do,
up.
and instead of going through that, I just encourage you to visit maineventcomedy.com. Maine is spelled like the state. So, and I have the schedule on there of all the upcoming shows, maineventcomedy.com.
Yep. And a lot, not a lot, but all of his shows are great, man. Every time I'm at either one of them, you know, it's pretty cool.
Either one of my shows? The two I put on every year.
Yeah. and Bob, you're coming up real quick.
Right,
like we
I'm
said,
going to be at Soho.
The Boston one is the one I want you to promote the most, because by the time this comes out, it'll give us what date is that again?
That's March 9th.
Down in Boston.
Yeah, that's going to be a good time.
It should be a really good show.
That's a great room, too, Laugh Boston.
Which one is it?
Laugh Boston.
Laugh Boston. That's pretty neat. It's got to be a good one, because I've never been there. Jamie?
I've never been there either.
No,
I'm doing, you can see me at pretty much every open mic in Portland for the next couple months.
And there's a lot of them. You know, go down and help out a lot of these open mics. There's the one Monday. Was Monday at?
Monday's at Be Good.
Be Good.
Be Good.
Tuesday,
no,
Brian
not Be
Baruch.
Good. There's another one too, isn't there?
Blue.
Blue.
There's a show at Blue. Great show. I'm on down the 4th.
And there's Be Good. See, Portland has a scene now. Come out and check us out.
And if you go to Facebook and search for Comedy in Maine, you'll find a calendar with everything happening. Open mics shows everything happening with Comedy in Maine, and that's thanks to Brian DeMore. He does a great job.
You also never know who's going to drop in, too. There's some really, really good comedians, famous comedians from Maine that might just drop into a show.
Like Big Bob.
You
never know.
or you know, you're going to see guys that are coming up,
Remy,
and
he shows
you
up
see
a
them in the
lot.
beginning when they're not really funny, and then you see them a year later and they're hilarious.
Yeah.
That's like me.
Or they're still not really funny.
I'll be at the
Dennis, you've
Gold
been
Room.
funny
I'll be at the
forever.
Gold Room on the 19th.
There you
and then
go. That's
down
a
in
great room
Manchester
that
on
I
the
haven't been
20th. And basically, I'm everywhere that there's a room small enough to get 4 people in.
Like this one.
Like this one. Thanks, Mark. It's always great to be with you, buddy. See you. Guys, thank you.